What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and achieving at least one of your goals today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Ford Mustang GT Premium. Huge thank you to Matt Newman over at Koons Sterling Ford here in Sterling, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular 2024 Ford Mustang or any Ford product, I'll be sure to have Matt's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. It is absolutely beautiful outside here today. Perfect temperature, a little bit of a breeze, and no humidity. I can't ask for much more. So perfect day to do a video with the all-new Ford Mustang. But just like I always do, first we're going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 Ford Mustang GT Premium, and this particular one has been painted in shadow black. One of the first things I wanted to say at the beginning of this video is that now for 2024, the Mustang as a whole did get redesigned inside and out, but it retains a familiar feel to the S650 Mustangs. And by the way, with the GTs, you also get a very nice bump in power as well. Now, one thing I wanted to say also is that when the S650s first came out in 2015, I wasn't really a fan of them right off the bat. However, when these first got released to the public, I was a fan right off the bat. I love the new redesign. I think they did a great job at retaining a familiar feel while also giving us an updated look. So I am a big fan of the way that the new Mustang looks, drives, and feels. But normally I start with the headlights, then I work my way down and around into the back end. So that's what we're going to do here today. So as standard with the GT Premium, you get LED headlights with automatic high beams as well as LED daytime running lights and LED turn signals. The headlight bezel itself is a mix of black and silver. Now, if you're going for more of like a blacked out look, you might want to look into getting the Night Pony package. You can see the welcome lighting right now. It's lighting up. I think that looks really cool. And that is because I have the proximity key fob in my pocket. And the closer that I get to that, you get that really sweet welcome lighting. But now, coming up just a little bit and working our way to the center of your front hood, you get a gloss black functional hood vent, which is awesome. It's not just, you know, a cosmetic piece, it is actually functional. And when you look down in there, you can see the engine itself. You can feel the heat dissipating. And let's say you get a white exterior paint color, this piece will always be gloss black. Again, I love that that is a functional hood vent. Now I'm going to take a step back and let's take in the entire front end of the S650. So at the center of the front end, you get that gloss black mesh front grille. I'll take a closer look at that. Sorry, we got this leaves coming and blowing all over. I apologize. But taking a look at the center of the front end, you get a gloss black mesh front grille with the Pony logo located at the center of your front grille. Again, if you wanted this to be black, you might want to look into getting the Mustang Night Pony package. But again, this one is not optioned with that, so you get that just standard silver pony at the center. And then you also get two gloss black grille nostrils on each side of your front grille as well. One on that side with the gloss surround, and then obviously the same thing goes for this side as well. One thing that I thought was interesting, and I'll put it on screen right now, is that integrated into your front grille, you get these two LED lights on each side of your front grille. And I did a little bit of research into what those do, and essentially what I came up with, and I'm not sure if this is correct, but they're basically mandated by the US government for like pedestrians to be able to see the vehicle. I don't know, that's just what I read online, you know how that goes. But if you know exactly what these do, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm genuinely curious, because I've never seen that on any other vehicle and I thought it was just kind of a little bit weird. And then you also get a gloss black grille surround. So this entire piece right here, you can see that's separated. All of that is your gloss black grille surround. And then coming down just a little bit, you get a satin black lower grille as well as satin black outer grills on both sides of your front bumper. And then last but not least, you also get a satin black front lip that runs across the entire bottom of your front end. I apologize about my shadow, but you can see it right there. And that kind of about does it for the front end of the S650 here. Now coming down the side, you get a side marker light right there. And then these are just the standard wheels that you get with the GT Premium. And they are a 19-inch shadow silver painted wheel, and they are wrapped in 255/40 Continental Pro Contact RX tire. I'm going to give you a view of the tread pattern on that tire real quick, the best that I can. That's about as best as I can do. Now, one thing I wanted to say is that not only these are square stance tires, but another thing I wanted to say is that if you wanted more of a blacked out look, like the blacked out Pony, you wanted blacked out wheels, black mirror caps, so on and so forth, you might want to look into getting the $1,195 Night Pony package. Give you, again, all the blacked out elements without having to, you know, get the GT Performance package. So just something you might want to look into. It's basically like a black appearance package. Anyways, again, these are the standard wheels, and then just behind these wheels, as standard here at the front, you get 4-piston Brembo brake calipers. However, if my eyes are tricking me, these look more like 6-piston calipers to me, just by how big they are. But on the Ford website, it says they're 4-piston Brembos, so I'm gonna just go with Ford's word on that. Now I want to do a little front 3/4 shot of this thing for you, just so you guys have the best view of it as you can. And then also, as standard, you get rain sensing wipers, and then also you get these 5.0 fender badges, obviously with the red dot at the center. And then working our way up to our side view mirrors with the GT Premium, you get body color mirror caps with integrated turn signals. These side view mirrors are heated, manual folding. You get your blind spot monitoring on the upper left-hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the upper right-hand side of your passenger side mirror. And then all the way at the bottom of your side view mirrors, you get this little light right here. That is your pony projection lamp. So basically at night, it's gonna have a nice little pony right here, you know, just to add to the premium experience of the GT Premium. Now let's do a little side profile shot of this thing. Again, it looks very similar to the S550 here on the side, but you will notice a few differences, especially at the rear end. But anyways, you get black window trim as well as body color door handles with keyless access. So basically you can walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and it will unlock. You can also press that lock button right there and the vehicle will lock. And then last but not least, you get these satin black side skirts on both sides. I'll give you a better view of what they look like right here. And then from back here as well, that's a look at that. And then coming up, you get a body color shark fin antenna. This is your integrated LED third brake light. Rear window defroster. Obviously, you get a capless filler neck behind here. 87 octane will do you just fine. So if you're going to be using this as a daily, you don't have to worry about filling it up with premium. However, you can still put premium in it, and it will probably run a little bit better and give you a little bit more power with the premium fuel. Coming to the back as standard, you get this body color rear deck lid spoiler, as you can see right now. Now let's do a little rear 3/4 shot of this thing. Boom, you can see what's new for 2024. And basically you get a totally redesigned rear end, but it looks a little bit similar to the S550. But anyways, you get these LED sequential taillights, but you can see they're a lot different. They're more like boom and boom, kind of like chiseled out almost in a way. Here's a little side profile shot of what I'm talking about. See, they go down and then they go out. It's kind of like they're chiseled in. Very, very cool. And then working our way to the center, here's a view of what you get here at the back. Again, very similar to the S550, but just a little bit different, and I like the differences. And then at the center, got your backup camera, get your GT logo right there. You get your body colored deck lid. And then if you wanted to open up the trunk, you would either have to go from the interior to pop it open, or you can pop it open from your key fob by pressing this button twice. Trunk pops open. Good amount of storage space in the trunk, considering, you know what I mean? I have a 2010 Camaro, and this opening is way smaller on my Camaro than it is here on the Mustang. But anyways, coming to the back, here are your standard carpet floor mats. Underneath that, you have your spare tire down in there as well. I do like how you get a spare tire. On my Camaro, you do not get a spare tire. And then this is the GT Premium. So you do get a Bang & Olufsen sound system. I do believe that that is your subwoofer. And then you get a little storage cubby on this side of your trunk. And really, that's kind of about it for what we got going on in the trunk area. Coming down just a little bit, you get a satin black rear valance back here with 4 integrated parking sensors. You can see you also get 2 reflectors and your reverse light located at the center of your rear valance. You also get a quad tip exhaust. However, this particular one's been optioned with the $1,225 active valved exhaust. So when you put it in sport mode, it gets louder than what it sounds like in normal mode. And you can turn it into quiet mode, you can turn it into normal mode, all by the push of a button on your infotainment system. By the way, if you opt for the active valved exhaust, it adds 6 horsepower and 3 pound-feet of torque to the overall power of the 5.0. One other thing is that with the 10-speed automatic option, which this one does have, you get a 315 limited slip differential. And then also, if you're looking for a sportier driving experience, you might want to look into getting the $4,995 GT Performance Package if you don't necessarily want to pay the extra money for the Dark Horse. So yeah, You want the sportier driving experience, but you don't want to shell out all the extra money of the Dark Horse. Again, you might want to look into getting the GT Performance package because it makes the driving experience just a little bit better, a little bit more sporty, and it's going to handle a little bit better on the back roads as well. It might be a little bit quicker because you also get a different axle ratio, which is going to make it just a little bit quicker, but maybe a little bit slower top end speed wise. But anyways, let me know what you think of the 2024 Ford Mustang GT in the comments down below. Do you like the revisions that they did for the S650, or do you prefer the S550? Again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 5-liter V8 that makes 486 horsepower and 418 pound-feet of torque with the active valved exhaust system optioned. This vehicle has also been optioned with the $1,595 10-speed automatic transmission. You can also get a 6-speed manual. With the 10-speed, you can go 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 15 miles per gallon in the city, 24 miles per gallon on the highway for 18 miles per gallon combined. One thing you may notice that is new for the 2024 Mustang is now the dual throttle body setup. By the way, you can hear this while you're driving. It sounds like you have an aftermarket cold air intake system, and it is absolutely beautiful sounding. I will show you that when we get into the driving portion of the video, but I think that just looks badass when you pop open the hood. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. I put a lot of time and effort into making these videos, so I'd really appreciate it if you guys would just take 1 second, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, hit that subscribe button. Again, I would really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But again, with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, like I mentioned a little bit ago in the video, you do get keyless access. So all you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and the vehicle will unlock. You can also lock the vehicle by running your finger across that little lock mark right there, and now the vehicle is locked. I did want to walk you guys through a couple of the functions on the key fob. Starting from the top, you have your unlock function, your lock function. With the 10-speed automatic transmission as an option, you do get the remote start system, and then that is to pop open your trunk, and your panic function all the way at the bottom. If you wanted to remote start the vehicle, all you got to do is press the lock button and then press the button under that twice. And that is what she sounds like when she fires up. But now let's take a look at what the driver's side door panel has to offer. Keep in mind, this is the GT Premium, so you get this beautiful leather wrapping here with that accent colored stitching. But anyway, starting over here, you get this like carbon fiber looking trim, but it's not actually carbon fiber trim. It's just like 3D carbon fiber looking trim. Then you get a satin chrome looking door handle, 3 memory seat adjustment settings with the GT Premium. Then you have your unlock and your lock functions. Again, all of this leather wrapping comes a part of the GT Premium package. You get a nicely padded armrest, and then coming over here, automatic up and down windows here at the front. Here are your power side view mirror controls, and you get a little bit of miscellaneous storage space at the bottom of your door panel. Also with the GT Premium package, you get the Bang & Olufsen sound system, so you get 2 speakers on your door panel, one up top there, and then one all the way at the bottom. Now taking a look at what the interior looks like with the GT Premium package, you get this sick looking illuminated door sill that has your pony logo and then Mustang written out. It looks very, very premium, and it is a brushed aluminum door sill, but I'm gonna let the owner take that little piece off when they take delivery of the vehicle. With the GT Premium, you also get this nice accent color on your seatbelt with the black, and then also on your seats as well. You get that kind of like gray accent colored stitching, but then you also get that gray in the perforation of the seat itself. You get a partially power driver seat, so you can see you get that, but then to recline, you get to pull up on that, and then that is a manual recline function. Other than that, that's kind of about it. Now let's step on into the interior so you can see what's brand new for 2024. I'll get into that in a second, but I'm going to start the vehicle up, and this is what it looks like when all this stuff turns on. Take a look. I can't resist. I got to do it. That is what the beautiful 5.0 sounds like. Oh my gosh, it sounds so good. But anyway, I'm gonna close this door and then I'm gonna walk you throughout the interior, but we're gonna start over here and then we'll work our way into the other thing. So coming over here, that is to pop open your trunk. This is for your headlight controls, and then these are to brighten and or dim your gauge cluster as well as your backlit buttons. Coming over here, flipping this down, gives you access into your tilting steering wheel. So you can bring it down, you can bring it up, and you can bring it towards you and away from you. So it is a tilting and telescoping steering wheel. It's just a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then to lock it in place, you're gonna flip that back up. And then coming to your pedal box, you get those aluminum pedals with that rubber grip. They look very, very premium. And again, this is the automatic, so there is no clutch pedal. But coming back up, you can see what is new for the 2024 model year. Essentially, you get a 12.4-inch digital dash, as well as a 13.2-inch Sync 4 infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. But before we get into those two screens, I'm gonna walk you throughout the steering wheel and its control. So over here, this turn signal stock looks very similar to the S550, but let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what your turn signal sounds like, and then that's also your headlight or high beam control stock as well. Coming back out, you get a new designed steering wheel with the flat bottom. It looks awesome. It is also leather wrapped, but just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center, so let's take a listen. That is what the horn sounds like on the all-new Mustang. Now, on the left-hand side behind the steering wheel, you have your downshift paddle, and then on the right-hand side, you have your upshift paddle. They are very responsive, and we'll get into that into the driving portion of the video, but then you get some more of that like carbon fiber looking trim on your steering wheel as well. Again, this does have the $2,900 GT Premium High package, and what that package gives you includes Ford Copilot 360 Assist Plus, which gives you adaptive cruise control with stop and go. So here are your adaptive cruise control settings. And then what's also really cool is that you get your drive mode selector on the steering wheel rather than the toggle switches of the S550. So you can see this mode button, you can see that mode button, and that's gonna bring you in between your different drive modes. So you have normal mode, sport mode, track mode, drag strip mode, slippery mode, custom mode, and then you can go back into normal mode. I really like the different animations that you get dependent on which drive mode you are in. I think that is really, really cool. I'm gonna walk you throughout all the other ones. Just so cool. I think it is just, you know, a nice touch that's small but really big at the same time. I really like those little, you know, Easter egg touches that manufacturers give you with stuff like that. But coming over here to this side of the steering wheel, you have these different controls. So this, and that OK button are to control your gauge cluster. That is to go back on a track. That is to go forward on a track. Clicking on this steering wheel button is going to bring you in between your different settings. So you can either have your comfortable setting, your normal setting, or your sport steering setting. So sport steering, I'm going to have to go into my normal drive mode here. So when I click here, you have your sport steering, you have normal steering, and then I don't know why it's just giving me those two at the moment, but you do have a couple other steering settings you can go throughout. It's just, okay, yeah, see, steering normal, steering comfort, and steering sport. It was only giving me steering sport there for a second, but in custom mode, you can go out between those three different steering modes. So basically, the more you get to the right, or this or that are more firm, the one at the center is more of like a loose feeling steering feel. But yeah, other than that, kind of about it for the steering wheel, but I do want to show you what we got going throughout this gauge cluster. So right now we are in custom mode, I believe. So if I click down, you can go out between like 5 different pages is really all you can do. So clicking down, that's your trip A or trip 1 information. That's your fuel economy stuff, your tire pressure stuff, your gauge detail. So it gives you all your different temperatures and pressures, and then coming all the way down, you get some more of those different things at the center. But really, other than that, that's kind of all you can do with the gauge cluster. I will walk you throughout some of the other drive modes, but anyways, coolant temperature gauge, tachometer, speedometer, digital speedometer readout. With the GT Premium High package, you do get speed sign recognition. So that is what that is right there. Basically tells you the speed limit of the area that you are driving in. Then that's your fuel gauge, your fuel range. That's your odometer. That is basically your active valved exhaust system. That's letting you know what your steering feel is in. Right now it's in comfort. And then that's your transmission status stuff. That's the compass, ambient exterior temperature, the current song playing, and that's about it for custom mode. Now going down into sport mode, let's go show you what sport mode looks like. Give it a second for it to pop up. It looks a little bit different. Basically, still tachometer over here, speedometer over there. It just looks a little bit different, the layout. And then track mode also looks different. I'll show you what track mode looks like. Give it a second. It looks more like a hockey stick. I'll show you that when that pops up here. But you can see now your RPM gauge is at the top. You get all the different necessary things that you need to see while you are on the track, like your tire pressure stuff, and basically everything, you know, that you need to see again while you're on track. is basically bigger, and then all the unnecessary things like the songs and stuff like that still display, but they're just not quite as big as they are when they are in, you know, normal or sport mode. But otherwise, that's kind of about it for that. That's your windshield wiper control stock. Again, you get the rain sensing wipers with the GT Premium. And then working our way over to here, again, this is the 13.2-inch Sync 4 infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. Again, all of this is all new for 2024. And I think Ford did a great job at putting this screen in the dash. You know, sometimes with these kinds of screens, they look kind of just like plopped on. Whereas, you know, this kind of looks plopped on, but I think they did a good job of integrating it into the dash. Rather than, you know, BMWs did a terrible job with the screen. They just like plopped it on, whereas I think this is nicely integrated into the dash. Again, my personal opinion. But up top here, you have your home button, your time, the ambient exterior temperature, and by the way, you can control the color of which all of these things are. See how it's kind of like an orange outline? Well, you can actually change that when you go into this. I'll get into that in a second, but anyways, this is your home screen. That's your navigation stuff, phone stuff, settings, features, your apps, and then you may notice, and this is a neg in my opinion, but they brought the climate control stuff onto the screen just like they did with Lincoln's, as well as the Ford Escape. So anyways, you get heated and ventilated seats with the GT Premium. So heated seats up top here, and then your ventilated seats are coming down. You get 3 levels of adjustability for both. You also get a heated steering wheel as well. That is your heated steering wheel button right there. If you want the climate control stack to take up the entire screen, you would click right here, and that will pop up the climate control screen. I'll turn it on so you can see what it looks like when it is on. Yeah, kind of looks the exact same actually. But back out of that, you click right there, click back into my home screen, and I want to walk you guys through a couple of the different settings. So it's going to pop up your settings screen. You can go into vehicle settings. You can go in between all of these different things. If you want the vehicle to be quiet when you start it up with the active valved exhaust system, you can turn the quiet start system on. But you got a Mustang, why would you want to go into that? But again, you can go into your instrument cluster thing right here, and I'll show you that here in a second. You can basically choose what you want to see on this screen throughout this screen over here. I'm going to back out of that, and then yeah, kind of about it for that kind of stuff. You do have a Wi-Fi hotspot. You go in between your different vehicle settings here, all of these different things. I'll show you that. You can go into lighting, so on and so forth. Back over to here, you can go between your different features, driver assistance features, the My Mustang features. Give it a second. Here are all of your different driving assistance features. That's about it for that kind of stuff there. And then coming back over to here, I'm gonna go back into my home screen. There was one screen that I wanted to show you. Okay, I'm back and I found out how to do it. So if you wanted to control more of what you got going on here, come down here, see that little Mustang button? If you click on that Mustang button, it's gonna bring you into this screen here. So basically, with the active valved exhaust system, you can now go into exhaust mode track, exhaust mode sport. You can go into normal mode, or you can go into quiet mode. All the way to the left is quiet, all the way to the right is track. And then, like I was saying, you can control this screen throughout this screen. So if you go into cluster theme, you can basically change the drive mode or change the cluster theme with the push of the button over here, or you can match the theme of what you got going on here to your drive mode, which is what I would do. I think that's the coolest thing to do. And then you can go into my color. So like I said, see how like everything is orange right now? I can make that all blue. So if I came over to here, I can change my color to blue. So now that's gonna turn blue, that stuff's gonna turn blue, and then I can also make the other stuff blue as well. So you see all that stuff went to blue. But I'm gonna go back to where everything was because I don't wanna mess with it too much. But anyways, see what I'm saying? Like all that stuff turns back to orange. Very, very cool. That's back to orange. But you can change all of these different colors to your color, and then you can also go in between your ambient lighting, change the color, change the brightness, and all that kind of stuff. You can also go into your custom mode and configure that to your liking. One thing I wanted to show you were these auxiliary gauges. Very, very cool. You can see you got a couple different layouts with that. Other than that, that's kind of about it for what you got going on there. You get 2 HVAC vents. This is your start stop button. Again, this will bring you into that screen that I was just in. This is to turn traction control on or off. You got your hazard button. Clicking on that little star right there is going to bring you into your favorite screen. So basically when you click that star button, you can assign that feature dependent on which feature you want right here. So you can either pop up your exhaust mode, you can turn on auto hold, or it can be a calm screen. And then that's your front defroster. This is your volume control knob. You get some more of that carbon fiber trim, passenger airbag on or off stuff, USB-C port, USB-A port, and a 12-volt power outlet, so you can plug in your radar detector. And then you get a wireless charge pad right here. So that is where my phone is. I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max. It is one of the bigger phones on the market, and it just barely fits down in that charge pad there. And then again, this is the automatic. If you wanted to go into manual mode, you got to pull it all the way back. Now we're in manual mode, and you can control the transmission with the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. You get an electronic parking brake, 2 cup holders right here, a nicely padded armrest that is leather wrapped. Opening up the armrest, you get another 12-volt power outlet down in there, and a little bit of miscellaneous storage space. I'm going to put my iPhone 14 Pro Max down in there for size reference. You also get a halogen light down in there as well. You can also set a pen right there if you wanted to as well. I'm going to close the doors because that bird's being kind of loud. But coming up here, you get a frameless auto-dimming rear view mirror. Driver gets a light, passenger gets a light, both of which are LED. You get a spot you can set your sunglasses up top here as well. And then here are your light controls, whether you want the lights to turn on or not when you open up the door. And then that's also your instant dome light button as well. Coming over here, you get your universal garage door opener there. And then you get a vanity mirror with a vanity light, or 2 vanity lights. I do wish the vanity lights were LED. And then you also get a little clip right here that you can set money, registration, or any paper product. And then these slide forwards and backwards to your liking. Kind of about it for what we got going on here, other than you do get a lockable lower glove box with a good amount of storage space in there. And then this is what that little dash layout looks like on the passenger side. It says Mustang right there. You get your Bang & Olufsen speaker up top there. And really, one other thing is that you can see these headrests here. You can move them forwards and backwards to your liking, so you can basically rest your neck on that. I think that is a very, very nice thing that I always point out with Ford products. But the only real option that we have going on here in the interior is the $2,900 GT Premium High Package, which basically gives you the driver's seat memory and the mirror memory. You also get the illuminated door sills, the Premier trim with the accent color, the Bang & Olufsen sound system, the security package, and the Ford Co-Pilot 360 Assist Plus, which gives you adaptive cruise control with stop and go, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, speed sign recognition, etc. You can read it, what you get with that on screen right now. But now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at basically the options, the standard stuff, the fuel economy, the warranty stuff, basically whatever you want to take a look at. But basically, I'm just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 Ford Mustang GT Premium is spec'd is $53,330. I think that is a very fair price considering what you get with this vehicle. I think it's very nicely loaded up. These seats are ultra comfortable. I would get in those rear seats, but I'm 5'9". There's not that much space back there for me, unless I needed there to be. You know, let's say, you know, I don't have my car, my friend has this car, and he wants to take me, you know, an hour away on a road trip. I'm not going to be the most comfortable back there, but I can make it work. It's just going to be, again, a little bit cramped in the headroom department, a little bit cramped in the legroom department. So this is really more of a 2-seater for kids in the back. You know, 2-seaters for 2 adults, and then the kids can sit in the back. But really, that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the interior. You know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the video, where I always start my videos. Here we go over these speed bumps at 5 miles an hour. Get it down to 5, it's about 5. And then I rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. Listen to that thing. So it did very well over the first one. I think it's going to do very well over the second one. Let's see. I'm going to give this thing a 7.9 on a scale of 1 to 10. It went over those speed bumps very, very well. Now let's do a body roll test. Not much body roll. However, if you do want something that handles a little bit better, you might want to look into getting the GT Performance package. However, this can be a very fun daily driver, but it also is a very fun, you know, weekend cruiser. So if you want the best of both worlds, then I suggest you not get the GT Premium package or Performance package, because that's just going to give you a firmer ride. It's going to handle better. It's going to brake better. It's going to do everything that you want, like sporty wise, better. But if you want one of these that you can have fun with, be comfortable with, and also use as a daily, this is the way to go. But I do want to show you what acceleration sounds like without me talking, so let's take a listen to that once this light turns green. This thing sounds phenomenal. It sounds so good. Oh my gosh. And I want to show you what I mean by the dual throttle body system. You can hear it. Listen. All right, I might have to do it in normal mode, because when you're in sport mode, the exhaust gets, you know, relatively loud. So let's see if I can't get that nice little cold air intake sound. I can hear it, but I can tell you for a fact the GoPro is not going to pick it up. It sounds phenomenal. I love the exhaust note. I might be able to hear it now that the road's just a little bit smoother. It's got to be about 3,000 RPM. Yeah, I'm going to be able to hear it, but I know for a fact the GoPro is definitely not going to pick it up. But man, listen to the downshifts. This thing is awesome, and one thing that I really appreciate is just how responsive the paddle shifters are with the 10-speed automatic transmission. I will show you guys that once this light turns green, and I got a little bit of room to open it up a little bit, but I'm very impressed with the upshift response and the downshift response of the paddle shifters. And you know, that's something that I've noticed on the previous generation S650s, is that they weren't quite responsive, but these are very responsive, and that is something that I find very important when you buy a vehicle like this that's an automatic, because you know a lot of people now, they buy the automatic, but they still want the performance and the same driving experience kind of that you get with the manual. So that is why paddle shifter response is very important. So let's take a listen to the paddle shifter response. Right there, you see what I'm saying? It's just boom, boom, boom. There is maybe a little bit of a delay, but I mean, it's very, like, I'm telling you, it's so minuscule, you probably won't even notice it. And you know, the more that you get on it, the faster the response is. So let's say, you know, you're flooring it, then the response is going to be there. However, if you're, you know, p-footing it around, you know, just not getting it on it very much, but you're still in manual mode, the paddle shifter response isn't going to be as good, but it's still going to be right there. Listen. I love the 10-speed. It's awesome because you see how we're feeling that negative torque of the motor, you know, slowing us down a little bit. That is something that I really like with the 10-speed, because, you know, in some automatics, you know, it just lets you go. You know what I mean? It just, instead of like holding you like a manual does, you know, when the RPMs just, you know, start to come down, it starts to slow you down. On some automatics, you know, you don't get that. It just kind of lets you just roll with no resistance. I like the resistance, you know, that you get with this transmission when you downshift. Very good paddle shifter response. Very good paddle shifter response. Take a listen. I'm not even going to talk. This thing sounds so good. It drives so well. It goes over bumps so well. Now, I haven't really pushed it on a back road, and I think it would still do pretty well on the back road, but if you want it to do a little bit better, again, you might want to look into getting the performance pack, because that's going to make it handle quite a bit better. And if you want it to handle really well, and you want just the Mac Daddy performance, then you're going to want to look at getting the Dark Horse, because that's what the Dark Horse is. It's just really all about performance, and it's basically like a Mach 1, but it's just like the new Mach 1. So now let's see what acceleration is like. what I'm saying? Very easy acceleration, very quick paddle shifter response. That was only up to about 4,000 RPM. I don't really want to get on it any more than that. But really, the reality is about this thing is that I would really like to buy this. And that's why I'm bringing you kind of to this part of the video, is that if I bought one of these, or, you know, I'm just putting that question out there, would you guys watch a build series of a new S650 Mustang? If there's enough people that say yes, I would love to watch a build series on the S650 GT, just like this, I would buy one. But you have to let me know, otherwise I'm not going to get one. You know, it's a risk that I'm willing to take if there's going to be enough people that are willing to watch a build series or just chronicles on what it's like to own one of these. But here's an acceleration again. And I'm dead serious. If there are enough people in the comments saying you should get one, then I will absolutely get one. I'm not even kidding, because I really like it that much, and I think that this would be a great platform to, you know, start branching off and doing other things other than review videos. I would definitely consider buying one of these again. If there are enough people letting me know that they would watch a build series or just a series on the chronicles of what it's like to own an S650 Mustang. I really like it that much. I really like the way it looks. I definitely like the way it drives. It's very comfortable to drive. So yeah, I would, you know, seriously consider getting one of these if there were enough people interested in watching videos on it. Because really, you know, at the end of the day, this YouTube thing, while I love doing it, obviously it's a business for me, so I need it to, you know, generate a little bit of income. And if I can have a little bit of fun while generating income with this Mustang, then I would, you know, absolutely do it. And I think I would get the 10-speed because I already have a Camaro that's a 6-speed manual, and I'm kind of, you know, wanting something that's automatic. You know, I want a little bit of a change, and I think this would be a great vehicle to do that. And, you know, back into the review part of things, it drives very well, it handles very well, it sounds amazing. I love the induction noise that you can hear when you're just getting on it, and you can really hear the induction noise at about, you know, 3,500, 4,000 RPM. I'm gonna try to catch that on video here again. I'm gonna let that guy go by, and then we'll do a little something here. Go down into like this gear. Man, this thing sounds good. Paddle shifter response is there. The transmission, super crisp. Yeah, sound system, by the way, awesome. The Sync 4 screen works great. I really like the new digital gauge cluster. I really enjoyed my time behind the wheel of this thing. There's nothing really to complain about. I think Ford knocked it out of the park with this Mustang. Really enjoyed my time behind the wheel of this thing, and I think just everything works very well together amongst everything between the digital gauge cluster, the infotainment system, the active valved exhaust system, the transmission. Everything just works very well, and this thing is just an absolute blast to drive. So if you are interested in this particular one, I'll be sure to have Matt's information in the description box down below. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot get there without your support. Again, let me know in the comments below if I should get one of these for the channel, and if you would watch a build series on one of these S650 Mustangs. Let me know in the comments down below. But again, that's it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.